Hello everybody, welcome again to Conversations with Pastor Deola. This is season 2, and here on Conversations with Pastor Deola, we talk about life and living through the lens of God's Word. Now this season is special. Season 2 is special to me. We're talking about men, we're talking with men, and we're talking about men. And over the course of my life, I've always felt like men have it a bit harder in life. I know some women don't believe that, but I actually think that way. I saw it with my uncles, I saw it with my dad, I saw it with my brother. Now I'm married, and I'm around guys a lot of the time, and I see how much it feels like life can be so hard for them. So this season we're just taking time to talk to men and see life through their eyes. That's pretty much what we're doing this season. So I have a wonderful guest with me here. He's I think I'm going to use this word. He's a man after God's heart. Honestly, his name is Dr. Ayolola. All right, you're welcome, Dr. Ayolola. He's a wonderful man. I mean, Dr. Ayol's heart pours out love. And I think that's the experience of everyone who gets to meet you. I mean, how you go over and beyond for people, and you just love people genuinely. And I want to say thank you for that.
Thank you so
He's
much.
married to his beautiful wife, Ijoma. And they have 2 lovely kids, a boy and a girl.
Yes.
And any more children?
No, I think I'm fine.
Do like 2 more now.
No.
Let's repopulate. So Dr. Ayo, you're welcome. We're happy to have you. I'm super happy to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And one of the reasons when I was thinking of who to bring, I thought about you. You're a man's man, yet you're so compassionate. You're a man's man, yet you're so helpful. You're a man's man. I know life is not all that easy, but you seem to strike a balance. You try your best to strike that balance, and it's so obvious. So today we're going to be talking about what does it mean to be a man. How there are men out there who want to be men, but they don't know how to. There's no manual. So a lot of African fathers, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can bear witness to this, a lot of African fathers don't sit you down and say, son, this is how to be a man. They just expect you to figure it out.
Honestly.
So in terms of life, in terms of work, in terms of balance, in terms of handling your sexuality, both as a single man, as a married man, handling your business, handling your home, how can you be a man? What does it mean to be a man? And I think over to you here.
So thank you very much, Pastor Deola.
I'm grateful. I'm so
glad
happy.
to be here.
I'm so
Thank
happy.
you for the opportunity. Being a man is easy. It's very easy. One of the things I think about is how does God love me, and how does God treat me, and how do I want God to love me, and how do I want God to treat me?
Others, or treat you.
So growing up was pretty easy for me. I did have a lot of mentors to show me how to go around things. So I grew up learning a lot from my mentors to know how to handle life and marriage and situation around things. I remember when I was getting married, and one of my mentors, Feladro Toye, and called me in that morning and said, Mr. Ayo, I won't be able to make your wedding, but I want to tell you something. You want to make sure that you have a marriage that looks like an honeymoon every day of your life.
Wow.
And I was wondering, no, I saw my parents' marriage. No, it was not
It
nothing like honeymoon.
Every day.
Then he said to me, do you believe that your wife is a child of God? And I said, yes. He said, that means God is a father. I said, yes. That means you're marrying God's daughter. And I go, what are you getting at? And then he said, that means God is your father-in-law. And I go, yes.
Okay.
He said, that means, God sees and hears everything. He said, so how do you think the same person you pray to every day, if you treat our daughter wrongly, he will be seeing it. And how do you think he would bless you?
That's so true.
So you want God to bless you, treat his daughter rightly.
That's so
If
true.
you want God to bless you, treat your home rightly. So one of the things I did was I had mentors when it came to different things. Relationship, I had the mentor. Work-wise, I had the mentor. Finance-wise, I had the mentor. Because I knew that my parents couldn't have transferred everything that they knew to me. And how much they really know? They don't know so much about the 21st century anyway.
Yeah.
Because what we deal with was not what they were dealing with.
Back then. So true.
what they were exposed to was not what we're exposed to now.
now.
They didn't really have phones in their days.
In their days and time.
So there was nobody messaging them on WhatsApp and they're hiding something from, and so
and all that stuff.
No, one of the things that helped a lot, and what I would say to men is that one of the things that would help you a lot is that you should find mentors that would help you out. You should also speak to your mentors. Get mentors that you can actually relate, and they can give you advice from God's point of view.
So let me backtrack here. You know, you went straight into it, and I love that. Life was easy for you simply because you had mentors.
Yes.
So the truth is that people say this, that, you know, a mentor is like a ladder. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to go through the same mistakes and errors they went through. You can just simply climb on them and you see what they are seeing. They've struggled, they've done all the hard work, but you are seeing what they are seeing, functioning from their own point of view at a very young age.
Yes.
So I think this is actually very brilliant. Men should be mentored.
Yes.
How come we don't hear about this so often? Men should be
because a lot of men don't talk.
A lot of men don't talk.
We are told to internalize things. Men, you should not cry. You should not. If you're talking to someone, say you are gossiping. So most men had learned to just
figure it out.
Stay a man. You know, everything is going on. You're not talking to anybody about it. You're trying to figure it all by yourself. But one thing of things that God has given us is mentors to show us that, see, I've gone through this part before.
Yes.
This is the better route.
Yes. I once knew a man who was in deep trouble. When I mean deep trouble, and nobody around him knew. He was drowning left, right, center. His work wasn't going well. His marriage wasn't going well. He was having affairs left, right, center. He wanted to stop. He couldn't stop. And, you know, one day I had a sit-down conversation with him and I said, why did you stress yourself this much? He said, because I thought I could figure it out by myself. He said, I just thought I could figure it out by myself. But you see, the moment he opened up and he started talking to mentors about it, he said the burden lifted and he felt like, oh, so I'm not the only one going through this in life.
Ma, I believe God is the one that gave us mentors. And for everyone that don't have a mentor, I think you should look out to have one at least. I would want to make business decisions. I'm looking for a spiritual mentor. My pastor, I'll go to my pastor and say, Pastor, I have this, I have this, I have this. I have these options, I have this option, I have this options. What should I do? So I will have, when it comes to my business, I'm having spiritual mentors. When it comes to finances, I'm going to a financial mentor. When it comes to marriage, I'm going to someone I know I can truly speak to about my marriage.
So let's quickly take a pause here. And what is mentorship? Because you see, you're talking something very important and get a mentor, but you know, a lot of people go to their mentors and what happens is that they are the ones talking all through and they are not listening. How does this mentorship relationship, how does it work?
Okay, so mentorship relationship practically works this way.
Okay.
You have to agree that you don't know so much.
That's the beginning. Agree.
And agree. I don't know. And give the other person the right to decide for you.
Oh my goodness. Now that's hard for men.
Yes. I think it's the hardest thing for any man to.
I think women, it's not so hard for us to say, you know, this man, I'm going to go and do this. Okay, I will do exactly as you say. But men, they like to own their decisions.
I remember one of those days I was angry with my wife. She had done a couple of things, and I had proof. That, evidence that you did this, you did this. And I came to see my mentor. And I'm talking about Pastor here. And then after I was done talking, I said, can you see that you are very angry? I'm like, yes, I deserve to be angry. I said, no, as a man, you don't deserve to. You need to be logical. It's your home, not somebody else's home. It's your family, not somebody else's family. I said, I want you to go home and apologize to your wife.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
Is Lord forever.
Oh, God. I remember leaving my mentor that day with almost tears in my eyes, like, me, won't apologize. I was the one that was done wrong. And I got back. It took me 2 days to apologize. It took me 2 days because I had to sleep over it. And I finally told her, you know what, I'm very sorry about what was going on, what had happened. This was where I was wrong. This was where I assumed And then she then finally decided to tell me the whole story. And I realized that I was just a fool that was angry.
Wow.
And I've assumed a lot of things that were not it. So your mentors see ahead of you. Your mentors have abilities. So when you decide someone is your mentor, it's as if God gives them ability to know what you're supposed to do, what you are meant to do. So I know for a lot of men, it's not easy to actually put another man in a place where they are deciding
the driver's seat of your life.
Or driver's seat of your life. But this is the way I look at it.
Yes.
So most of the time I was like, spiritually, you are part ahead of me. Maritally, you are ahead of me. So I talk to Felado a lot of times about family and all that. But everybody knows him to be a motivational speaker, but I don't talk to him about work. Because I've seen his family. He has an excellent family. I lived with him for like three weeks, and I was wondering, don't they argue in this house? Don't they fight? And everything looks as if it's honeymoon. So when it comes to marriage, and I'm angry about, I want to make a decision when it comes to marriage, it's one person I find easy to call.
He's become a model for you in that area of your life.
And I hear a lot of people call them a power couple. He's doing well, the wife is doing well. I'm like, I like my family to be like this. I love my kids to be like this. The kids are so responsible. I'm wondering, how did you raise them up? So every man should find a mentor. Every man needs a model. Every man needs a mentor. And I think this is so key. So a mentor is someone who has gone ahead of you, and you feel like this person has what I desire to have. Yes.
I desire to have a happy home. I desire to have a thriving business. I desire to be a better man. Do you understand? Probably a man who is hung up on maybe addictions or hung up on habits or setting a different kind of mindset. Because what I'm hearing from you is that a man actually has the ability to change his world. You don't have to be who you were or where you're coming from. You can actually look at a model, a mentor, and decide to be like this person and even better.
Yes.
So what mentors actually give you is they give you an opportunity to live a new kind of life. I think that's beautiful.
I think most men, one of the questions you ask yourself, what do you desire to be in life? What do you desire your home to look like? What do you desire your workspace to look like? Look at someone that's in that space and speak to. Be comfortable enough to be, what's the word now? To be vulnerable. Be comfortable enough to be vulnerable.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think vulnerable is a word that men like.
No. But let's say if you want to fly, you better follow instructions. Better follow instructions. So I remember, I know I've never told this story to people. I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes before. I started smoking when I was in GSS 3.
Wow.
And I smoked in through university. I didn't smoking my cigarette. I started smoking weed at some point. I think I was at SS1 or something. And I was a good smoker. And I got to a point where I really wanted to stop the cigarette. I had spoken to everybody, like I'd tried to do everything I could do to stop myself from smoking. And I was not stopping. I would just wake up sometimes around 1 a.m. in the morning. I'll have the urge to smoke weed or smoke cigarette. And then I heard of a guy. I used to be a smoker, and now he's a pastor. So I ran to him and went to me and say, please, how did you smoke? I didn't tell him I was smoking. So I wanted to just get to hear from you. How did you stop smoking? And he said to me, each time I feel like smoking, I run to the Word of God. I said, I don't understand. I said, I don't listen to tapes. I just carry my Bible immediately, stand up on my feet and start walking and reading the Bible out loud every time. I said, and that worked? I said, yes, the urge will go away almost immediately. So I started doing that. Sometimes the urge would come, I would give up to the urge. Sometimes I would be strong enough to carry my Bible. I'm just walking around breathing it. Yes. And one day I just noticed that, It's been like 6 weeks. I've not smoked a cigarette.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. As in, there was no prayer, there was no casting them by
Oh
the.
my goodness.
Just to find a mentor that was doing this before and stopped doing it.
You were humble enough to look for a mentor. You were humble enough to ask for help.
Yes.
You were humble enough to say that I don't know what to do. Please help me. And I think that's where a lot of men get it wrong. This drive, this machoism to say, I want to figure it out. And you see, I'm sorry, I'm going to digress a bit and go to ladies. The most dangerous man in this world to marry is a man who doesn't have somebody else speaking over him. The most, I'm telling you, because the truth is every man has that innate desire to just go crazy. It might be for 1 minute.
Oh, my wife says every time, I say, don't worry, I know who to report you to. I'll call pastor
I
now.
mean, every man.
Please don't call pastor, please.
Every man has that innate desire to have that 1 minute madness. And you know the thing about it, if there's nobody to be that stopgap, that 1 minute becomes 10 minutes of madness. That 10 minutes becomes 10 hours. Then it becomes 10 years. And it becomes your lifestyle. You see, so you have to have, as a woman, you have to have a man who someone will call him to order and say, stop that. Whether in marriage, whether in business, whether in politics, listen, sit down and don't do that. I think this is really good.
Pastor, I remember Pastor preached a message called Men Are God's Methods. And as Pastor was preaching the message, I kept on thanking God for my life. Thank God for the men in my life. So, but the problem here is that most men don't seek for help. We believe that we know a lot.
Jama. We'll figure it out. We'll do it.
We'll do it like that.
We'll hit them, hustle out.
And I believe that mentors basically pull off veils from your eyes. So, for example, when my mentor told me, imagine God, your wife is God's daughter. That means you are God's son-in-law.
That's the revelation I'm just going to steal now. So let me just tell you, I'm going to be warning every guy right now. You know.
So I'm like, it's the same God I pray to for money. Where will I run to? You know. So it's beautiful. Your father-in-law. My father-in-law have to run to. Your father. No. It's
beautiful. This is beautiful.
I think when most men decide to start seeking for help.
Yes.
And start speaking up. I'm not saying stop to social media. Social media won't give you any answers. No, I think when you look for trusted men that both your wife and you trust, and you can speak to about your relationship, you can go to that's why we go to counselors anyway. And when you're struggling with your business, look for somebody that's already doing what you're doing. Don't try to figure it out by yourself. I learned a trick when I was growing up. It's called copy and paste. There is no idea that is infinite. Everybody copied something from somewhere.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Yes, there's nothing new under the sun. So, because you built your website and it's fine, I can copy the same website and just change one or two things. And I will
be fine.
My own beautiful website. So, I have learned to copy and paste. So, I'll go to you and ask you, how did you do it? Can I copy exactly what you're doing? Like when I want to start public speaking, I have to go to someone I know was doing public and say, okay, you do public, I don't know how to charge money. And then it goes, okay, follow this template. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. This is what you should do.
I love that word, template.
Yes, what's your strengths? And then we looked at it and said, I like speaking about leadership. I like speaking about team building. But we realized that sales was my strength. And my mentor said, go into sales first. If that's your strength, then you can go into what you like. So your mentors basically helps you draw out a fine template. So it makes your life a lot easier. I think all men should find one.
So now, when I started this episode, I said something about, Dr. Ion's life, he just seems to figure it out. How does he figure it out? I think now I know his secret. And every man out there, I mean, he doesn't look like he's struggling, but he's winning on this side, he's winning on that side, he's winning on, on a lot of sides. And I know he's a man of many hats. He's into real estate, he's into consulting, he's married, he's into this, and he's still deeply invested in the lives of people around him. He's also into ministry. I mean, so I think now we found his secret, and one of the greatest secrets he's shared with us today is the fact that he has mentors. And I think we're going to wrap up the show here. For every man there and every woman who loves a man, Get your man to get committed to a mentor. Young man watching this, get committed to a mentor. It is a lifeline for you. And I should say that it is a lifeline for you. It's the templates you would use to build your life. All right. I hope this episode has been a blessing. If you enjoyed this, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, tell others about this, and make sure you drop a comment. Dr. Aya, thank you very much. We enjoyed having you here. God bless you,
Thank you so much.
and have a beautiful rest of the day.
I-